there's also an expense profile view where you can look at any particular expense in the standard chart of accounts and chart the last 2 years worth there. There's all the accounts in the standard chart of accounts. In some of these called inclusive, there's 2 lines for contractors. Payroll, there's 4 lines that can be included in that. So this would be combined payroll, and showing you average payroll for the month and compared to the prior year. And this is just average monthly expense and revenue. Again, this is the service line of business. Let me make this combined. And so we've had we're increasing salaries at a pretty steep clip. And then this shows salaries as a percent of revenue. Again, any line item in the standard chart of accounts. The same sort of view is available here for balance accounts. And here you can see your cash position over time. And we're showing here revenue rate line and expense rate line. You can also put in the actuals if you wish. Again, one of these days I'm going to take some time and rework these numbers because this is not representative of a real company. Well, it might be representative of a real company. There are those times, aren't there? We also have 3 of the most widely used ratios shown here. AR days, if you're not familiar, this is the amount of sales that you have in accounts receivable at any one time. You want this number to be as low as possible. This means that we're getting behind in our collections, and so we need to pay some attention to that. So I have gone over the leading indicators, the financials, there's this staff contributions. There's an owner compensation page here, which will take into consideration all of the pieces of owner comp, the base pay, anything that's mapped to cost of goods sold. Here's that incentive pay that I mentioned, and then distributions from equity. This will be the actual, and this is just an analysis to show what could come out of if you took everything out of the company. Then this takes into account the profit that is not distributed. Just to make sure we touch everything, there's the data upload again is where you can upload data for using a spreadsheet. There's and this is just a status of that upload as you watch it happen. The adjustments, simply making an adjustment to from one account to another. You can do that here instead of making a journal entry. There's a list of company users, and then just a view of your subscription. And there was one other thing that hit me as I went walking by, which I have now forgotten. Oh yes, source data. This is where you can look at the actual numbers coming from your accounting system. So if you're looking on one of those graphs and you see a spike in some particular month, then you can come in here and look for what those where that might be, and probably answer your question pretty quickly. I mentioned that we're looking at information through September of 2011. We pull in 36 months, ending in the most recent complete month. So you won't get anything from October until actually you're in November. But you can at any time go back up to 1 year at a time and see what did it look like at a particular point in the past. If you're trying to figure out again trends and what things look like. And here a much different picture. We were meeting our goal for revenue. Profit looks good. Gross margin looks good. Again, I'd love to have a 65% gross margin any place. So you can go back and look at comparisons like that, and you'll notice probably we have another or different picture here. If you look at the forecast, and again, last 6 months here there wasn't much of a change, but what happens is it's actually going up a little bit. So in this case, the high growth comes from most recent activity, not the trend over the last 2 years. So this picture will change as the short-term situation changes. The benefit of Corelytics is really going to be taking the time once a month, post your most recent results, come and look at the leading indicators. Are you doing what you want to do? If you take a look at this, I'm looking at this saying, you know, I need to increase revenue. I'm gonna take away from I'm gonna take 30 minutes a month. I'm gonna sit down and look at this, see what the trends are, look for any red flags, and come away with an action plan of maybe 3 items. I'm going to do something about revenue in one particular line of business. I might have an expense that I need to focus on. Maybe I need to worry about efficiency of my workers. And then next month when I come in, I'm going to go back and say, what did I say I was going to do? Did I accomplish any of that? And what's my next step to do that? So take some time. We have a 30-minute action plan that we've detailed on the support pages. Take some time to look around through here and find that 30-minute action plan. Go through that and load your data and get started. And our goal here is to provide clarity. And clarity leads to action, and action leads to clarity. So the more we know and the more we can see as it's coming down the pike, the easier it's going to be to make small adjustments instead of those big adjustments.